Okay.
We are live.
Hello.
We are.
Hello, Dave. Welcome back to our channel, Leo and Dave, and for a new episode. And today we're gonna look at some
Mm,
shares, some stocks, mainly in the AI theme. So we're gonna look at Nvidia, Google, Meta, Alibaba, and we're gonna finish to have a look at Bitcoin.
yeah. I do have a question. So
Already?
you added yeah. Before we get into Nvidia, so um, why did you choose Alibaba? Why did that pop up? Why did you want to add that one? I'm curious. Why is it China related? Is it geopolitics? You got me thinking.
Um,
Right. Mm,
Already a tricky question. Um, I think it makes sense because from what I hear, they are starting to be more into AI, so they are investing the AI into B2B commerce and I think it makes
really?
sense because, like I said, the others are very invested now into AI, Nvidia, Google, and Meta, and I think it makes sense to add some to say a stock from another market, from China. So not just looking at US market, but like I say, we're gonna look at different market, and
Mm,
I think it's good sometimes to add something from another place. And like I say, I think it's connected to the topic of today.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's start by NVIDIA here on
Mm.
a daily basis. If you can see on the graph,
I
and
but
it's like
one more question before we get into this
sure,
one.
sure.
So you know the Jerome Powell had a bit of a talk. Okay, yesterday they came out and had a bit of a talk. They said that inflation seems to be increasing, and it seems like they're going to still stop QT. Tightening is going to end, and uh, you know, Jerome Powell still did say in December, which is literally 1 week from now,
Even less.
um, maybe we can do a show for the rate decision next week. But where do you think we are? Do you because I'm ignoring all of this, and I think that this could roll over for a little bit. What do you
You're asking me for the stock market or for in general?
the stock market, the trend in general? Because generally most will go up if the trend's up, generally, and generally if it's a downtrend, most will go down. Are we
Obviously,
on
like
an uptrend or
obviously
down?
like obviously like last how to say we have been in a positive trend. If I'm being general from end of 22 for all the stocks and crypto also for Bitcoin, pardon. So it's been like almost 3 years. So obviously we are at the end of a large cycle, but it doesn't mean that we're going to stop there. If you ask my opinion, I think we're going to see volatility coming back even more. And like we have seen last week, most of the stock multiply by 4 or 5. So all the important stock in the Nasdaq has been growing up a lot since April this year, since the bonds. So obviously we are not at the bottom in terms of stocks, but except if there is a major, how to say, incident, we're gonna see a crash. But as you notice, inflation is up, so it's not a good sign. But there is not yet, I will say, a major incident that can create a big collapse. But we are at the end, so it's time to be very cautious and careful, I would say. So I would
So
say we are more at the end of the cycle where we can see a big drop. But until something pop up, we can still get 10%, 20%.
okay, so let me just clarify. So you think we could get 5, 10, something 15% up from here? volatile, so technically kind of sideways and maybe up a little bit, and then prepare for a bit of a dump. Would that be
Yes, it
what
makes
you
sense.
kind of thinking? Okay.
Obviously, there will be a correction. There is always correction. The only issue is to predict, or to say when it happened, and to predict as well the how to say how deep is the correction. So obviously, yes.
So the rhetoric online right now is that we're in a bubble. I'm looking everywhere, and that's usually, when you want to be a contrarian, if everyone says we're in a bubble, it's probably a good time to buy. And if everyone says that this thing's going to continue to pump forever, it's probably a good time to sell. Because, the majority of the media and the people out there talking about stocks, they're all lying and working for someone. It's all manipulation.
If you ask my opinion regarding crypto, I will think because
no. Hang on, let's not jump to crypto. We're talking about this right now. So, let me get my. So, if they want the market to go down because someone controls the market, and there's a lot of AI bots and there's people controlling it, the big money controls what really goes on. So by volatility, if you're right, they could be, trying to pull out a few bull traps to try suck more people in, and then dump it in their face, and then another bull trap, and then dump it in their face, and then try to just wear out the market and then drag it down, like they've done in the past, go sideways and pump and dump. And
I think this is the most dangerous market is when it does like you described. When it's a big collapse, some fast and a big collapse, somehow it's easy because you know what happened, and you know that let's say you lose 50%, the market collapse like during COVID, a large crash. Then the average investor can always buy a bit more when it collapses, and he hope to get it back. But when it's very volatile and it goes up, and like you say, it's like a bull trap, and you hope that it's gonna go up, and then they sell on you, and so you don't know where you are. This is the worst situation when it's volatile and you don't know where is the market going.
Okay, yeah, I guess that would make sense.
And is where you lose. Is where you lose because you always buy thinking it's gonna go up, and maybe the bear market is like for 18 months or 2 years, and if every month, they tell you always to do weighted average, and if every month you buy back and you buy back, and finally you do a weighted average, but with a very high entry point. So this weighted average, solution, or it's not working anymore, like we discussed before.
I see. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense to me. That if that was to play out, that would make sense. So it's definitely very dangerous at the moment. Okay, so we got Google, Nvidia, Alibaba. Anything else? Bitcoin at the end.
Yes. So 4 stocks.
Okay.
And
okay. So as we discussed before, and a lot of people have seen online, what was it? It was Meta or Google's developed their own chips, and apparently some cash is going to flow into Google because their chips are going to replace Nvidia chips somehow, some way. That's the story online, and that's what they're telling us.
The story is Google is talking lately with Meta to challenge, not to say Nvidia. So they want Meta want the chip of Google, and if it was the case, then it will be a big loss for Nvidia. Is why if you look here at Nvidia, it's been correcting over last day. So it was $196, $185 lately, 2 days ago, yes, and now it's trading at 170, 177. So it's like a drop of 10% in over the last 2 days.
So it's basically since August.
August
Hasn't
is
gone
here.
anywhere. Hasn't gone anywhere since August, really.
Yes. So it's in a range between 170 and 200, 206. And yes,
And you
how
can
to
see
say
that little pump.
yes.
You
The
can
trend.
you can see right at the top. There's a pump and a dump, which is basically a bull trap right there.
Let me see if I can. Yes.
And it actually, can you go and before, so March, around February, March, there was another bull trap, very similar, but larger, right there. Looks very similar, doesn't it?
Yes.
What if it does that again?
Well, from here, from the top 140, he went to 86, so it's like a drop of 40%. So,
Are you able to show 5 years? Oh yeah, you've got 5 years there. You can click the 5-year button at the bottom.
yes.
Yeah, so that was end of 2022 was the bottom. And apart from that April we just went through, it's basically just been up. In a way, when you look at it from this point of view, it's been in a massive run, and April was maybe a warning sign, and this could have been the last little blast off at the end before it starts pulling back for a little bit, perhaps. Was that 2021? 2022 to 2023, it had a long downtrend, didn't it?
Yes, this one. Not long, just 1 year. So
Yeah, but imagine if that started here and you're buying, and 1 year later, and then you got to wait another year and a half to get back to where you bought in. See, there's the two similar bull traps. 1, 2. You could even say there's 3 there.
yes, yes.
It acts. It's got a bit of a pattern to it, doesn't it, Nvidia? And if you go, if you were to put like little red dots on all of them, directly above where your cursor is, there's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see probably 5 of them.
Yes, yeah.
No, not there. Yeah, no, no. Left.
Yeah.
No. Why go left? No. Where the cursor was, all the way to top.
Here.
No, wait, top. Yeah, that one there. Yeah, there, and then just left of it, there's one more. That's right. Yeah, that's it. So it's like it could do that on the way up as well.
Anyway, they got a very good third quarter in terms of how to say revenue. 57 billion revenue in the last quarter, Q3, which is year to year a rise of 62%. So it's positive.
That could have been the title of the video, because in a way the earnings, the fundamentals were so good, and then the next day it dumped. It's been dumping for how long now? A week?
Yes. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, a couple of weeks. No, there is the correction since few weeks.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
anyway, Nvidia is projecting to have a good Q4 of 65 US billion.
So it's in its fourth red candle. That hasn't happened on that chart. Those 4 red candles before.
Only here this year in April.
Oh, those two or three. Yeah, there's another
There
one
is
there.
4 here.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's look a bit in the past, and yes, it doesn't happen often. That's true. Is the max out this one 22? There was 5 in a row.
Okay. Yeah. So it's due for a green candle. If it has a 5th red candle, you could probably statistically say that this thing would have a good week and then dump again.
Would be interesting to look on monthly. Maximum that he got is 3 months. 3 months in the red in 18. Yes. Until Nvidia doesn't have major problem, it's still a bullish stock. It's obviously can have a correction because it's been growing exponentially since 8 years now. So there is this exponential rise. I think how to say, if there was a correction between 100 and 120, it will be a good entry point. If you want my opinion, it's still overpriced for the recent years. So
are you saying if it pulled back to that mark, then you would think it would go green from there? You don't think we're going to have a full year of pullback?
Yeah, I think like you mentioned, all the market are a bit they got into a bubble also. Obviously, why not a correction for 26, first quarter of 26? And if you ask me my entry point after a correction of 40%, 30%, I think it will be a good long-term investment because Nvidia still seems to have solid fundamentals and solid growth, and so yes.
Okay.
Let me see if I see something else regarding Nvidia, but yes, semiconductor.
I think the way I see it with a lot of these, it's just I would just be waiting for a long correction of at least like 6 months before I even looked at any of them. That's the way I would see it.
Like 22.
Yeah, I'd be looking for one of those to happen again, and I'd be happy to wait as long as it takes. And I'm sure that there's quite a few really good stocks with great fundamentals. They're good businesses. They make a lot of money, just like this one. So why not just look at all of them and then wait for one of them to
collapse,
correct for a good 6 months or even longer, and then then you get in, pick a couple. Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that Nvidia want to invest into Revolut. So Revolut for this bank account, like this card. So
yeah,
Nvidia invests in Revolut 75 billion, if I'm right.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a good, how to say, too high for the moment, but it's good to keep to monitor these shares and see if there is opportunity into the future. Let's look at Google. oh, Google. Google is out of the roof.
So Berkshire Hathaway just sunk, I think it's $3 or $4 billion into Google. Now, maybe when I look at this chart and see that Warren Buffett just sunk billions of dollars into this, some traders just some old investors, they get to the point where they shouldn't be trading anymore.
No, but the problem is, let's say this way. The problem is, Warren Buffett invests into Google. I don't know. You say 100 billion, but the problem is when. When did he invest? Because he might have invested in April 25, and he just shared this transaction or this information now when he's growing and he has been growing 100%. Because I don't think Warren Buffett bought last week when he's at 300 and he's telling you 2 days later, oh, I just bought. I think he's.
No, he doesn't really tell people. It's, people can see what they're buying and selling. They have to announce it. It's all announced publicly. Berkshire Hathaway has to tell its investors what they're buying, right? And when they're buying
He
it.
cannot provide you the exact date. So maybe he has been weighted average buying every week a little bit since few months.
I didn't really look into when he could have possibly bought it. Well, if that's the case, they could have got in April. And
but mainly he bought here, and then maybe he just bought a bit again later, because I don't think he entered in one go. Warren Buffett, I think he always buying a couple of times. So I don't think he bought last week at 300. I don't. Otherwise, Warren Buffett is getting.
Yeah, well, you're right, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking they've lost their minds. Because when I look at that, I just see, whenever you see that on a chart, that it's going to go sideways, and like what it did in January, December 2024, January 2025, right at the beginning of this year, you can see it went sideways for about 3 months, and it pumped heavily there. You can see even a part of the chart is missing. It went so ballistic. Yeah. And it went sideways.
Probably
there's that one. Yeah, there's that one, but there's the one further back, December 2024. You don't need to move the chart. Yeah, there. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we can get, except if we are invested in this fund. I don't think nobody get except if you're very close of him. I don't think you get the exact date, and maybe it's not even allowed to provide the exact date to the public. So,
well, what I'm saying is that look at the chart. This is what I think, by looking at the charts, is going to happen next. So
I think we are at the end, and we're gonna have a good correction, because it's like 100% in 6 months, and always when you get a news like this, it's always a trick, and maybe Warren Buffett is already selling a bit of this profit here. So when he's telling you to that he bought, maybe he's selling, and he got 100% up.
Yeah.
Because if
the market's just opened.
If you look on weekly, this is exponential. This is 50% in a month. Yes, no, not 50%, but it's still 30% in a month, which is yes. I wouldn't buy it now, even if Mr. Warren Buffett just purchase, but
the markets haven't actually opened yet. They're getting close to opening.
yes. So you
Very close.
you see what is going on is the same exponential as during the COVID. Yes, it's even the how to say the angle is even more important. So it's very yes. Maybe it can go to 400, but it's a very risky bet at the moment.
You see, even that one, it went for an entire year down. 2022 all the way down to 2023.
Yes.
And you see, like, as far as I'm concerned, with a valuable stock, like a blue chip, one with great fundamentals, you can just wait for that to happen on one of them. You see, and then lock in a certain percentage. Maybe pick 3 and put your entire portfolio in 3, and just wait for them to do this. When you look at it like that, this game isn't that difficult. It's quite easy to maximize it.
It's why we are all poor. Yes. If you look at it with the long-term view and on weekly basis and a monthly basis, even if we look on monthly basis.
No, I don't think. Well, the reason why you didn't go so well is because when we hit the top, you didn't sell. It wasn't that you didn't buy at the bottom. You bought the bottom. You did at the bottom. You did magnificently. You picked the right things. You got a lot of percentages.
Yes, but the toughest is to sell, and if you don't sell anything you did good is a failure.
This first phase of it, you did well. It's just the second phase, you just got greedy and decided to hold. But the beauty of this is you're still young, so you've got lots of time to get this right. Let's just make sure that you don't get mega rich when you're too old to enjoy it.
Anyway, well, we Google had as a good Q3, 35 billion net income, revenue 100 billion, so plus 16% year on year for Q3 of Google, less than Nvidia, but it's still doing well. Yes.
Google will be fine. Google will be fine until something like Baidu or a new replacement for Google starts to spread through other countries. So this is a blue chip, and it's not going to be a problem. I don't think looking at how much money it makes really matters. I think the most important thing is geopolitics. How many countries have guns pointed at them to force them to use Google? And it's still the majority of the world. What's your take? So you think it's got another where did you say 400?
Yes, I think we can go 400, even 500 if you get crazy euphoric. Maximum 480, 500, but then you can go back to 200, and I wouldn't buy above 200. Where is my entry point? Yes, here, previous stop. So
okay, I would be selling now. I wouldn't be playing that game at all. I'd be just getting out right now, and I would just be happy and waiting for the next one. Because if you look at it, 2022, you just got to be patient. So that was basically, let's just say you saw it in 2022 and you made a masterful move, and you missed April. You messed that up. Let's just say we messed April up. and we went back to the tops, we would still be in profit. We're holding, and then this ballistic parabolic move happened. At this point, I'd be getting out, and I'll be thinking maybe in the next 2 or 3 years I'll get another magnificent move like this. Because in a way, when you're thinking long term, that's what you kind of want to do, isn't it? You just want to, when it goes like this, get out, take the cash and run, and then just be patient and check in every now and then. And when it starts going red, you can get back in. Who cares if it does another 10%? Because it might do another 20%, but then it might come back down to right where we are here. It might go red for 6 months, and then that's when you want to get in. And you can see there was a it's interesting, before that last pump there was a dump.
Yes.
Not that one, the last one, the last big pump. No, whenever I'm talking about the chart, don't move the chart, because you're moving the chart to see something. Can you move it back to where it was? Yeah. See how there was the big pump in 2022? There was the top.
Mm-hmm.
Just before it took off, it dumped on the left of it. 2020. See that dump there? That's
Yes.
it. And that technically could be, what if this was the April dump, and then it goes on a run, and then it goes sideways for a bit and then continues up. See, that's the issue. Could get another mountain like that. And Warren Buffett,
here he went from 50 to 150, so multiply by 3.
We'll
so
see August. Go back to 2020. Yeah, about August. See, it pumped. It went ballistic right there, and then it dumped. It's almost like if you were to take a fractal and just put it over this, you could almost replicate what we're looking at there.
Yes, it's a bit like this, by the way. It's a bit like here.
And then it could run again.
It's a similar pattern a little bit.
Well, what I'm suggesting is that it dumps from here a little bit and then grinds and creates a big long mountain like it just did. But things very rarely repeat that way.
But if you look here, from the bottom, it went from 50 to 150, and in April the bottom was 140. So, like I say, we can go to 420 to 450. We can go here. It will be
okay. Like, look, this is your holder mentality coming in, and this is why you got wrecked. See the two red dots on the left there?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say you bought and sold there, and that was all you did in 2020, 2021. That was it. You got whatever percentage that is. I don't know. But you went hard. You put a lot of money in, and you got a large percentage. And then it continued up, and you missed this big move. But then it started moving down, and then you technically bought back in around just above 80, 85, 90. Yeah, there. And you bought back in there because you were watching it for 12 months. And then you caught this next move. It's like where we are right now. If you're holding, this is when tomorrow it dumps 10% and you get trapped in this move, and you miss out on everything because you didn't sell. Because if they did buy in April, they've done all the hard work already. They just need to get out at a good price. Let's just say you have to wait another 2 years to get another one of these in. It's better than losing money. What do you think about that?
I know your point. Don't need to put the knife in the in the
No,
dead
no,
body
no,
again. I
no,
get your
no.
point. No, of
I'm
course. If you bought anywhere, how to say, so we are at 300. If you
mm,
even if you bought in April, it's time to sell. You make more than 120, 130%. So obviously it's
mm.
time to sell. There is always correction and there is always opportunity also. When
And
you
if
make
it pulls back,
100%, you're good.
and if it pulls back now, then this is when you get stuck in the waiting game where you know you can bank this. What is it, 140 to? It was about 140 to 300. You just did 100%.
More than 100% is like
Like if you don't
120
sell now, you need your head read. You just did 100%,
in 6 months.
and and imagine holding, thinking you're going to get another 10-20% out of it. But that's insanity. You get your 100%, and you've made more money that you need in the next like 5 years, and you can sit around and just wait for some red candles. It's really that easy. It's not. This isn't complex. I guess the problem is the psychology of the market. Everyone just gets this wrong. It reminds me of March 2024 and December 2024.
If you always find the top, you should be multi-millionaire, Dave. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Meta.
Well, wouldn't finding the bottom be the way to go? If you could just find the bottom. So like this one, it had a good day yesterday. Meta just pumped yesterday. It had a good day.
2 days in a row is
Well,
going.
2 days, yeah. It had two really good days. I like if I'm looking to get in, like we said when we last looked at this before it did this pump. This is, I would be patiently just watching this every day, hoping that it melts down somewhere near, where's that,
I think we
under
say below
under
500 last
500.
week, even 400. We say 400.
Yeah, well, around 500, maybe. You've got your portion that you would allocate for here, and then take a nibble, split it into threes. 500, have a crack, take, but if it did go back to 500, then that would be amazing. 500 would be a really good time to get in. If it went anywhere near there, that would definitely be. It's unlikely that this thing's going to go down for a long period of time, because it's just so powerful. WhatsApp and Instagram and
Yes,
Facebook, they're just
and they
so
are telling
powerful. They're not
they are
going
telling
anywhere.
they are telling Meta has a strong user base across multiple platforms, good, very high monetization, a big potential with AI. So now I think they adapt. AI is adjusting the ads.
Mm.
So
And it's a geopolitical weapon for the United States too. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So if it went anywhere near 500, that would be time to throw the kitchen sink at it. Because then you know that you get in at 500, and then let's just say over the next, say, 2 years, it gets back to 800, 900. You've if it magically hits 1,000 in the next 2-3 years, you've made more than enough. Even 25% a year is more than enough that you need to make out of this to yeah.
yeah, so like we say last week, until it doesn't reach a good entry price,
And I guess it might have got a good reaction too, because
because they want to test the Google microchip, so they all connected each other.
Yeah.
Yes, took back 15% from the bottom.
And if it pumps from here, I just wouldn't touch it. I'd just be looking at something else and just waiting. So, and that's the way I would play it. What do you think?
No, I didn't change from last week. Between 400 and 500, it's a good entry point. Anything above is speculation. It's very high. You multiply by 6 on last 2 years, so we don't touch. No.
It's already done enough of a run, massive run.
I don't know what Meta can do more than what it's doing. Buying a competitor, buying something, I don't know what they can do, but
yeah.
Yes. Next one I wanted to look was Alibaba, the Chinese B2B one. I'm going to look in the US. And one second. Oh. So it's $157.
Are we? Sorry. No. Continue. You're right.
So it's been doing well as well over last almost 2 years. From December, the bottom was December 23 with 67, and now it's 157. The highest was during COVID with 320. Let me look at the performance. Where is Alibaba? So Alibaba somewhere. Yes. So the new theme for Alibaba is very invested into AI. They had recently a change of CEO. Now it's Eta New. So shift on leadership to adjust to the changing market condition and the market regulation. I've read somewhere that I don't know if it was the US, but they got accused of helping the Chinese government against the US or something like this. So a lot of geopolitics here. Yes, a lot of geopolitics on this one. But they continue to expand and innovate, especially in AI, to compete with the big Microsoft and AWS. Rise of the demand in both Chinese and international market. Yes, so Alibaba is doing well. What is the revenue? Yes, only plus 6% year to year, 137 USD billion.
Yeah.
If you believe in the in the China industry, I think this one has still potential. It's been rising a lot lately, but why not going back to 300?
So it's up. What is that? 100%?
Since the bottom of 2 years ago, more than 100%, maybe 130.
Yeah, all-time high is still double where it is here.
Yes.
Is it going to go back to all-time highs? That's the question.
I think so, but cannot predict when. It can take another years or more.
Yeah, you can see, if we were watching this and it had been going down for an entire year, and and we trusted it as a blue chip.
I think if you retest the level of 100, it's a good entry point here.
Well, I guess what you're doing there is you're just looking for a trade anywhere. I would say you've missed it. I would say you've totally missed it, and it's time to not really touch this at all. Unless if it did something like that, if it came back down to 90.
Yes, we missed a good trade. So
then maybe get in there and then understand that you might have to wait quite a few years and hopefully one day it explodes to 300 again and goes to all-time highs. Is it expanding? I saw a video where a guy was calculating the energy usage in China and trying to figure out whether the population is real. He was suggesting that there might only be 500 million people in China, and he put forward quite convincing cases, and he used a lot of data from the crematoriums, footage from people in the streets. And I guess what I'm trying to get at here is if China's demographics are declining, then Alibaba might decline with those demographics, and it might not hit all-time highs again unless they go.
Why will there be only 500 million?
Well, that's beside the point. The thing is, nobody knows, but it would have to reach new markets in theory for it to go past 300. That's just my thinking. It's not how stocks always work, but it would have to be reaching new markets and expanding, or the population in China would have to be increasing for it to continue. So that would just be a factor that I would take into account when looking at this stock. And also I would also take into account that it's a Chinese stock, and that the United States and the Western powers, they have no interest in making these people rich, you see. So there's no guarantee this thing's ever going to see 300 again. So buying right here looks very dangerous to me. That's just what I'm looking at, a dangerous time to be playing with this.
Yes, what to say?
The thing is,
opportunity is missed.
See, when we go through a lot of these large stocks, we go through a lot of these blue chip ones, none of them have been red for 6 months. There's no the Meta's the closest to a slight opportunity that we've got in the charts. So there's nothing out there. If you're farming, or you're looking for some, fresh fruit on the farm, and you're looking for the easy picking, the easy fruit to pick, there's none left. And so this is where, when I just look at the charts and I just think, okay, well, this is when you don't do nothing and you wait for things to grind down for 6 months, and you wait for your opportunity. It's like those people that bought Bitcoin at 100 or 120K. They're now regretting it. That was a terrible decision. They need to go see the psychologist. So, that's now my running joke.
I know a good one. I know a very good one. Anyway, but it's interesting to see afterward that where was the opportunity, and now it's too late. Whatever. Let's look at our best friend.
Okay. All right. All right. So, now I got a question for you. Can you zoom out so we can see 2021? when we start correcting, where do you think the bottom is?
So you want me my forecast for the next bottom?
Yeah. The last bottom was 15,500. Keep that in mind.
Mm. Mm. 60. So here is 68. 68. 16. I think it's going to be between here and between here. So
Okay.
this area. I think we're gonna top or bottom on the previous resistance. So I think we will not see which level you say 16K. I think this is finished. You never know, but
so if that's your bottom, where would be the top in 3 years from that bottom?
So I will say 250. No, cannot. Let me draw it. I will say between 200 and 300.
So you think we could get a 500% next run?
400%, yes, it's possible. Why not? So we tap. Let's say we go to 50 and we do 250. Yes, makes sense, because last time we did 16 to 124. So if my math are still good, it's like multiplied by 7, something like this. We're obviously not going to do another 7, but
we almost did 8. It was almost 8. So
okay.
You're going to cut that in half to like 400, 500%, you think?
Yes, makes sense. So maybe we haven't done touch 50, maybe just 60, because now it's going to be less volatile on this direction as well on the bottom, because people will know that we will bounce back. So obviously everybody will be trying to find the bottom, the big whale, and I don't think we're going to divide like last time from 68 to 16, which is a divide of almost 4. So I don't think we're going to do 124 by 4, which makes 37 or 38, something like this. So I think it's going to be a bit above this divide by 4. So maybe we're going to divide by 3.5, which will make, let me tell you how much it will make.
How much does Bitcoin usually correct every bear market? Is it like 80%?
If you divide by 3.5, it's 35. So yes, can be 40K. You want to look more into historical, so let's remove this. If we look,
so 70K down to 15.
Let me look at another one.
That's almost
so before
80%.
the top was 19, and it went to 3.4, which is
oh gee, that's like 90%.
Which is like 82, 83, because you went to this. Yes. So 83, 83 in from 17 to this, and here if it was, don't remember exactly how much was the top. 66, I think it was 60, 69. Yes, 69.
69 all the way down to 15. Make it 16. Round it up. 16. 69 to 16.
So this time it was 76. So previously it was 82, 76. Let's say so 82 minus 76 is 76 is
So
like 6. Let's say 70. So if we do 70,
so that means if the trend continues, then 125, the correction should be 60%.
Anyway, I tell you how much he makes. 70 makes 37. And
So
if he's 60, is like 49, which is 50. So 37 is, let's see here, and the other one I told you with 60% is like 50. So
yeah,
I think it's in this area is what I say early, between 40 and 50. So,
yeah.
no more. I don't think he's gonna go more. Like, I cannot believe.
Before we go, can we have I have a request.
Sure.
Ethereum. Because let me explain why. XRP did nothing for quite a few years, and it didn't really crack any new all-time highs. It went sideways, and then XRP had a good run out of nowhere last time. This bull run now. The same as there was a few other older ones that came back as well. So what I'm thinking is,
I saw Dash doing well lately.
No. What are we doing? We're looking at ETH. We're looking at ETH. So, ETH didn't really. It cracked all-time high briefly. It didn't. It's not really countered. What I'm thinking is, if ETH has a terrible run, and it drops lower than what people think it should go, like it does, like 90% or something, that could be the next Solana. That could be the next XRP run, where this thing does a massive run next bull run. That's what I'm thinking, because it's so big that it's not going to disappear next bull run. It's still going to be there. It's just if it goes low enough. So when we're at the bottom in the bear market and we're thinking of buying Bitcoin at around 60, 50, 60K, then we should look at Ethereum and look at where it's at and start thinking, is this Ethereum's run where it does a 15, 20%, 20x or something crazy? Just what I've been thinking lately, because it performed so poorly this run. It performed poorly, but it also needs to back it up by collapsing harder too. If it collapses nice and hard, like 90%, where was the top on that? What if it did a 80, 90%? Where would that go to?
So let's say we touch 44,000. Oh, let me get this.
Where was the top? 4,800.
900.
Oh.
So 49. If you do an extra 80%, you get 1,000.
That's 90%.
That's 80%.
So what's 90%?
Half,
like
500.
500. If this goes anywhere near 500, I'd definitely be picking, I'd be throwing money into that one, for sure. if it goes anywhere near, you know, if it goes under 1,000, sure. But if it goes to 500, that will be, you can see, yeah, that would be a nice one to get in. Because then what if it goes low and then the hype train kicks in, like the hype train kicked in with Solana, you know, it gets really low. 500.
Yes, so if you reach this area between even 1,500, if you lose another 50%, is still a good. But obviously, around 1,000 and below 1,000 is a huge, because if you buy for 500 and even you sell at 3,000, you have done a x6. So that's perfect.
Amazing, yeah. So if you could get it under 1,000, you could get in at like 500 to 1,000, and then it breaks all time highs, goes to, you know, what,
5,000.
or 6,000 or 7,000, does like a proper run because it's been warming up all this time, because it's, you know, kind of warming up right now. Then that could be the one. That could be the one where in 3 years' time we retire.
Let's look at.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's not. It's already done its run. It's already done its run. I wouldn't touch this next run. What is this?
XRP.
No, I mean, what is this chart? I don't understand.
It's
Yeah,
on a monthly basis.
yeah. You can
Yes.
see. It had 2 bull runs where it didn't really crack all-time highs, and then this bull run was its time. You know, basically doubled it. So what if next bull run is Ethereum's time and it goes to 10,000?
But you see how crazy it is. So you went from 50 cents to 350 in 3 months. So X7 in 3 months. That's insane.
Yeah.
So what's your forecast on Bitcoin? You same as me? The bottom
Yeah,
50K?
basically. Because, well, what I think will happen, that you can see it on the charts, is it will hit the bottom. It'll hit the bottom early, and then it will start going sideways. And then it's so, like, I don't want to say it's easy, but I got in at 18,000 on my first run because it was going sideways for such a long time. And I just looked at it and just thought, this has to be it. You know, it's down so low from 69, 70K. This thing's got to be the bottom, and you can see it. It spends months at the bottom. It's if it does the same thing again at the bottom, we will know, because we'll be going sideways for a few months. Everyone will be telling us that crypto is finished for the rest of all eternity. Twitter will be telling you not to touch it, and that will be the time to buy. And I remember when I bought, I was scared. I thought I just lost all my money. I thought it was a ridiculous decision. But I picked almost the bottom. I was scared to buy it. I thought Binance was going to go bankrupt. You know, there was so much fear out there. It was crazy. So now I think when we hit the bottom, I'll be mentally prepared for that. And doing it right this time, getting in at that bottom, and then just being like, okay, we're good for 3 years. I'll just check the charts. I'm going to be very patient. Yeah. And hopefully by this stage, we've got a lot of people following us and joining our group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's wrap it up.
Being
I'm
cautious, careful. We are for the stock that we have checked it. We are what to say they are in bubble, and it's not the right time to buy or to invest. And what to say the recommendation will be to wait to see at least a few months of blue or red before making any big move.
Yeah. Now's not the time. Well, now would be the time to be shorting things, I would say. Yeah, shorting Google, maybe shorting Nvidia. You know, I wouldn't be shorting Alibaba, but you know, if Bitcoin is going to go back down to 50, you could short it here, as long as you don't get stopped out somewhere. But yeah, that's a good wrap. For you guys at home, make sure you click the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if we're helping you to get rich with our awesome analysis.
Yes,
And
thanks for following us, and we're gonna bring some new content for next week.
And we're building a Telegram group. So if we get 11 clicks this week, or one of you can join up to our Telegram group, and watch our analysis in that Telegram group. But anyway,
Thank you, guys.